Yeah, what up, everybody? It's NY Emperor X, aka the next one. You can just call me X, but it's your boy. Yeah, your boy. Ooh. And this dusty motherfucker right here is
a simple man. Oh man, you're gonna hate this pleasures. Otherwise known as the Moose King, but that's just me. And we are the Dust Budnies.
Huh?
My brother, I'm not even gonna fucking prep you for this. I just want you to see this. I want. He hates Teen Titans Go.
No, it's not that I hate him. It's not that I hate him. It's that it's a disgrace to what the original Teen Titans show was. If you were gonna make Teen Titans Go, then make it with new fucking designs rather than.
They also added Bumblebee to the team.
To my arena. Cool. Face your challenges.
I need a drink.
They're the serious versions of us. Just what we need to kick us up a notch. Let's prove we're the best Titans in the movie.
Oh, hell no. My waifu!
So, I think I know who's behind this.
Hi there.
Yeah. Our Trigon.
No, fuck him. Our Trigon.
Our Trigon.
We are in the danger. It is time for the cooperation.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
Oh wow, yay, we're all besties now.
Yeah. That's right.
Did you see their faces?
What took you so long? Santa Claus. He's right there.
Seriously?
Good or bad?
Yeah.
The cost of being a hero. Brooding heroes.
Their Robin is so handsome.
Yeah.
Hey, you said I was gonna be angry.
Yeah.
The fuck off me. Yeah. That's literally what that was. Get the fuck off me. Versus? Man, get that out. Oh! And it's going straight to the...
Yeah, it's going straight to Blu-ray.
I thought I was gonna be angry. I
thought you were going to be too, to be honest.
No, I'm not. You know why? Because it's set in the real Titans world.
Yeah, yep. Yes, it is, man.
Like if anything, they're paying homage.
Homage, yeah.
They're saying that, yeah, the original Titans was better.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, isn't that what the trailer pretty much just did?
Yep. I mean, look at it. Even in the post right here. Like, look, he's gonna eat him. He's stepping on him. They're the only ones getting along.
Raven and
Raven are ravening.
Yeah.
You know.
And Cyborg are just like, eh.
Exactly. The comic misinterpretation and Cyborg.
But this is the sequel that they were doing to the Teen Titans Go movie.
Yep. And that's why the quality of the animation is actually substantially higher from the show.
No,
I think it's great.
I'm very happy because you don't understand. That was my show.
Yeah.
I genuinely loved it, and it got to the point where I bought more Teen Titans comics than I did the average other mainstream comic. Like, I didn't buy many Batman comics just because I was stuck on the Titans.
Right.
But the Titans comics had the extra point of, for example, like where Young Justice ended up going in the Cartoon Network series that became DC Universe exclusive.
Right.
The Superboy story, the Wonder Girl story, all that shit. You know, in the comics, Wonder Girl was actually with Superboy.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't Martian Girl.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was Supergirl and him, and then everyone thought he died, and she hooked up with Superboy's best friend, Tim Drake, which was Robin. Which was third Robin.
Right.
So they got together, and then, it just became...
Good old comic book crazy.
Yeah, like it became a mess. So
also, I figured I'd just show you your favorite part of the trailer again real quick.
We're all besties now.
Yeah! Fuck yeah! That's right. Do that shit, Robin. Do that shit. My guy. Look at the artwork on that.
I I was going to ask you about that. How do you feel about it? Because I know it differs quite greatly from the original, but it still has the style.
And no.
You know?
Yes and no. The style's the same. The coloring's more refined. Because remember, the previous show was darker.
Right.
We're all besties now.
I mean, we just relived that a few times.
But like the colors refined. It looks good.
Yes.
And
the shading is all right and all that. The colors are.
And I know what they did for this was they tried to find a middle ground for how the background would be.
Yeah.
So from an artistic standpoint, yes, this looks good.
That's why I was very curious, because look how sharp even someone like Cyborg's head looks like. You know, look how sharp it looks.
It's sharper than it used to be.
Substantially.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm in love with it.
No.
But because I still kind of miss the old style. Like, they tried as much as they could to go with the old style.
Yeah, but like they did it in the new animations sort of program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the older one was beautiful. You don't understand. Like, like I genuinely loved their art style.
Oh, absolutely, man.
You know, like to the point where you could copy their T-Rexes or their elephants, and it'll still have that anime slash what you call it feel. And,
even someone like Trigon, for instance, great representation.
And that's what they were going for. Plus, not for nothing, those 2 extra horns you see right there in the middle, those weren't there.
No, they weren't, were they?
No, they weren't. Those weren't there. But as far as, you know, does it look good? Does it look like something I can watch? Yeah.
Really? You think you dig it enough to sit down and watch this?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Because I'm going to get it. Like, I'm going to get it specifically, obviously, for my son, and because being an old Teen Titans fan. And, like, I don't mind Teen Titans Go. I've kind of gotten past, you know, what they are at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, you again, you have a son, and your son generally
not
likes
even that.
the show.
For me, it's the same kind of thing. Like when I go to see like comic book movies in general. We've had this discussion before, but essentially, guys, the way I work is when I go to see a comic book movie, and it's not a direct representation of the character that I'm familiar with. What I treat it as is a separate universe entirely, and that's all I treat it as. It's not necessarily the character I'm used to, but it's rather a representation of that character. It may not be one I always agree with, but sometimes it hits home and sometimes it doesn't. You know?
Right. I can understand that.
You know?
See, for me, this is like just in Spanish we call it mezcla, which is or mezcla. It's basically mix. It's the mix.
Mezcla. The more you know.
It's a mix. I might have pronounced it wrong. I don't know.
That's all right.
But
language is hard.
It's just a mix of, you know, the older generation with the newer generation, and just trying to find that middle ground and bonding over the fact that we both like the Teen Titans. Yeah. We just have 2 different versions of what the Titans are. Right, absolutely. And I think it's harder for our generation because it just happened back to back. And the way we got treated. We literally got the boot. We got like kicked in our ass for no fucking reason. The show just ended, and the ratings were doing the ratings. Yeah, man, the ratings were great.
They cut that poor show right.
But
at the end of the
because
season,
Cartoon Network was going in a different direction. Yeah, they just cut our show.
The other big thing is Cartoon Network actually has a contractual obligation, believe it or not. Very, very few shows have ever been able to deviate from it. Very, very few. But they have a set standard for how many episodes you're allowed to do. Really? When you have a contract with Cartoon Network, after your contract's up, 9 times out of 10, they don't get redone. Yeah. Only one of the few of them being Adventure Time was actually one of the few to get past that. Ed and Nettie was actually another one that just
which made no sense because to me, look, I and there's no disrespect to the Ed and Nettie. Right. But Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, those shits were better than Ed and Nettie.
I can agree with you. However, specifically with Dexter's Lab suffered the worst in that regard because Dexter, in the middle of its run, was when Cartoon Network actually swapped out their CEOs. Mm-hmm. That's why the art direction changed. That's why everything about the show changed, and that's why it didn't survive.
I remember.
Oh yeah,
I remember. I mean, if you guys remember the '90s Cartoon Network, everything was raunchy, and that's what I love.
Courage! Let's talk about courage! Cow and chicken, they were eating the booty before any of us started eating the booty!
Well, here's the funny part. Not so much Courage for me, because Courage came like towards the mid-run, where it was about to change.
98, 99, 2000.
Now, everything else like Cow Chicken, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Fuck. I know I'm missing.
I know there's a few we're missing. Like all those pilot shows they used to show.
The cartoon weekends.
Cartoon, Powerpuff Girls.
The Powerpuff Girls started in the 90s as well.
Yeah, man.
So all those cartoons, I was genuinely in love with. Like, don't get me wrong, I watched Nickelodeon. I watched like Hey Arnold.
Of course.
All that, Kenan and Kel. I was watching all that shit.
Now I miss Hey Arnold.
But But the funny part is that I was more of a Cartoon Network kid.
Yes. Yes.
And I know a lot of people were more Nickelodeon kids.
Or even Disney kids.
But you have to understand, Nickelodeon around that nighttime started...
Nick at Night.
Nick at Night.
Nick at Night.
So now that I think about it, yeah, I was more Cartoon Network because I was always up late at night.
Yep.
I was always up late at night. And late at night, like around 8 to like 10, 11 o'clock, they were giving Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Count Chicken. Exactly the shows I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they were giving all these shows, and, you know, we grew up raunchy.
Yeah.
We grew up with, you know, half this shit not being censored, which you sensitive bastards need to fucking stop. Just stop. Stop your sensitive shit.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Stop your sensitive
Don't do
shit!
it!
Okay? But anyways.
Good catch. Good catch. That was good. But yeah, we got away with a lot, man. Ren and Stimpy being another great example.
So that's why I say, at the end of the day, all that fucking rant was just to say that this is the old generation with the new generation trying to find that bond and do it peacefully, whereas in the past, for example, you know, the people in the 60s were like, that's not my Batman. My Batman was bow.
Right.
But then when the 90s and 80s came around, it was like, he's dark.
He's dark, right. Dark and brooding.
But that's what he was originally.
Right,
you get me? They don't remember that. They just remember Batman.
Right. Or it's like the people who reject, you know, the modern interpretation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because the original was so dark. It's
exactly. Kind of so that's my thing. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is this is them trying to mend with us.
And you're digging it.
While still...
Fuck, man. All right.
While still trying to hold up to the Teen Titans Go.
I was genuinely expecting you to hate everything about this. Genuinely. And I say that on the basis that, A, they altered the original designs in just minute ways that I felt like it was going to bother the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? But I am genuinely happy to hear that you're, you know, at least going as far as to say you're willing to watch this. Yeah. Because you don't watch Go at all.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean?
I don't.
You don't. You consider it a borderline abomination in some regards.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
it's
because of its source material and what it's doing to it. And I completely agree with you in that regard.
It just hurts my feelings.
Exactly. But that's why to hear you say you're willing to watch this movie, as a means of bridging the gap, like
I went with you to go see the Teen Titans Go movie,
and that movie was fucking hilarious.
It was fun.
It really was fucking.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying that what they're basing it on.
Yes.
It's fucked up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If they just switch their designs.
Or just did different characters. Make new Titans. Make a new team of Titans even.
Not even. You could keep the same characters, just switch the designs. The designs are pretty much the same. That's lackluster. That's great.
Right.
You know
I can't lie. That is one thing I always love about Cyborg's design is that they went the extra mile to put in those little details on his arm and on his shoulders and in his head. And then you see something like this, and it's like, or rather on the other side there, and it's like, it's so minute in comparison, man.
Yeah, like...
But the budget's so much bigger, and they could have done it.
Exactly my point. You know what I mean? So...
Like, that's, like, this guy, our guy here, that's Victor Stone.
Yep.
That other guy?
I don't know that name.
I don't know that, man.
I don't know that name. Like, fuck out of here, bro.
Final thoughts, my brother?
Final thoughts, the movie looks okay. I'll definitely see it.
Cool. I'm gonna get the Blu-ray.
I'm gonna see it specifically for
those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going this way on camera.
Right. Yeah. Right.
For me, it's this way.
Yeah. Those guys.
So for these guys right here,
gotta love Mirror.
I'm watching them. I'm watching it just for them. So yeah, I'll watch it.
But in the meantime, guys, brush that dust off your shoulders. Brush that dust off that beautiful ass subscribe button. If you really like what we do, then comment, riddle the bell, and drop us a tip on Patreon. Watch for the dust fall in these rolling credits, and we'll see you guys in the next trailer. Peace.
Bye, bitches. Titans, go!